So I get myself prepared, fix the hair, and then don the cap because it is that time of year. I'm getting ready. We're all getting ready for the NHL season coming up. So I've done a lot of hockey content for the 2 years that we've done here. I'm still young and still getting rid of it, 50, but still young as far as the social media YouTube era. Trying to put all the stuff on YouTube, put it out on Instagram, put it out on Facebook. I'm not as hardcore as TikTok, even though some people think that's the way you should go. But my platform's been YouTube, and I'll stay on Instagram and hang out on Facebook. That's where my handles are. If you want to shoot a shot, but right here, there's a subscribe button. You want to hit that if you want to be alerted for any of the new content that we do, whether it is hockey related, whether we do first reactions of the sports world, hot takes, stupid food reviews. We're growing channel 2 years, so let's just keep it going. And as you see, we got the Penguin stuff here. I got my. I think this was I think this is the 24 or 23 draft ad. I think it was the 2024 draft ad. So I'm ready to go to put down what we kind of did for the NFL. We put a Super Bowl bubble out, and we did it through the wonderful world of the tier list maker, and we'll do the exact same thing with the NHL. We'll put the Stanley Cup bubble. Who will very possibly be in the Stanley Cup bubble to take Lord Stanley's Cup? Lord Stanley, give me the brandy. So we'll do the old school tier list maker that we have done numerous times on this channel. And I'm going to try to do my best to burn through this. Don't want to make this video long, but as usual, there's so many things that go into it, like who had all the storylines. A lot of teams are doing 100th anniversaries. A lot of teams did trades. A lot of teams did the first overall pick. Like the Islanders got the first overall pick. San Jose is going to be still a massive rebuild. I'm still hoping on the Penguins, but they are going to be in a big rebuild very shortly. So let's just jump right into this. I'm going to actually start off, and I'm going to actually start off big. I'm going to actually go the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to go them in. I'm going to put them in S tier. They just compete every single year. Landeskog is now back, teaming up with McKinnon. All that drama that they had with Mikko Rantanen, back and forth, sending him to Carolina and then Carolina unloads him to Dallas. So, but the Avalanche still made the playoffs and still had it probably one of the best series of the entire playoff with Dallas. Some people said that should have been the Stanley Cup because that was a great series. But Colorado won't go away. There's also a rumor that they're going to have a Nordiques third jersey or the fourth jersey. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's just keep it moving. Chicago. Let's just keep Chicago. I'm actually going to be a little bit generous. I'm going to put Chicago in C tier. They're still on the rise. And I know they gave Spencer Knight money to be their new full-time goaltender. But we've had so much hope on Connor Bedard that he's supposed to be this big, gigantic superstar. He needs more help. And I don't want to make Chicago seem like Bedard, who led the team in points in his rookie year, it can't be just him. He needs more help. And I know they've been trying to put veterans around him, and the team's not that good, and the veterans are gone, and he's all by himself. He's just a young kid. So Columbus, I'm going to put in B tier. They're just so close. Columbus, they still got a couple pieces to go. I think they figured out everything with the people that they want to have, and they were in the playoff hunt for the wild card. And I still think the wild card and the playoff system is a hot mess. I said it, Gary. I said it, Gary Bettman. It's your playoff system's a hot mess. And Columbus was right up there with a Detroit. With even Pittsburgh was up there a little bit. Detroit, Montreal ended up getting in at the end. St. Louis. They really weren't supposed to be in that mix last year, but they won like 12 in a row. And then they got into the end of the playoff, and they end up playing Winnipeg in the first round. I'll put them in B tier. They will have that new look, that fresh new, the blues blue, the light blue. They'll have that nice new fresh rebrand, and it's going to be sharp. But let's just keep them in B tier. They weren't supposed to be there, and then they got on a hot run at the end. Let's just keep it that way. Boston is in a rebuild. I will still put them in B tier because you just don't know. Boston, I think they're starting to be in a little bit of a rebuild, but you just never know. They always seem to find people, and as long as Pastrnak is there, they're still going to make some head. Pastrnak and Swayman. They'll be the front man. Montreal, keep your. I'm actually going to put Montreal in A tier because keep your eyes on the Canadians. They are young. They don't have anything to lose. They've got some peace. Nick Suzuki is the captain. They're starting to figure out their goaltender situation, and they just look like I think they're not going to be a Stanley Cup team. They're not in the bubble, not just yet. I think they have another year to wait. But let's just keep them for A tier. I would usually put them in B. Vancouver is also a little bit in a rebuild, but I will put them in B tier. We just have to see what the front office does with Elias Pettersson and everybody on that team. They got Quinn Hughes. We're gonna see if they keep him. They got rid of that Slavis kid at goaltender and sent him to Pittsburgh, and we're going to see if Thatcher Demko can be that guy. Let's just keep it that way. Washington is going to remain an A tier. Ovechkin is going to be at the latter end of his career, but the team is still really, really sharp. The Devils, I will put them in B tier. They're almost there. If the Hughes brothers do not get hurt, that series with Carolina in the first round would have been completely different, way different. Let's see what we do with Anaheim. I think I'm going to put them in C tier. They're still a major rebuild. They're still a ways away, but so happy to see the Mighty Duck logo back. Calgary, I actually going to put Calgary in B tier because they weren't supposed to go anywhere either, and they were also in the wild card hunt. So, and be happy for Calgary. They're getting a new arena in a couple years. The Flyers, D. I hate saying this to Philly people, but Flyers D tier. You are still in a major rebuild, but you did get Travis Zagras in the offseason. Your Morozov kid, Prokhorov, well, I can't remember his name, but that kid is your future. Fix your goaltender situation, and you're going to be fine. I hate doing this, but the mercenaries in Vegas will go in S tier because as long as the Vegas Golden Knights and Bill Foley are still alive and breathing, they will always be in the playoff hunt every single year. They always will try to do everything they can to get into the playoffs. Carolina is not going to be right far behind them. They will be in S tier. That team is so well run, and it's not going anywhere. They signed like a 25-year deal lease to Lenovo Arena in Raleigh, where NC State plays their stuff. That team's not going anywhere. Raleigh's a hotbed now for hockey. So, and Storm Surge, everything like that, not going anywhere. They get Brett Burns. They had Martin Natchez. That team's so well run, so well run. The Islanders, D tier, not there yet. They're in a major rebuild right now, and there's rumors going that there's nobody in there. You think nobody liked playing in Brooklyn? There's people that don't like playing up in Belmont, and that's a brand new arena. And you're going to lose the All Star game. You're probably going to get like a skills thing or something. Really stupid. This is a little biased. Winnipeg's going to be an A tier. They were President's winners last year. If they don't run into a freaking buzzsaw in Dallas, that team's in the Western Conference Final. So, and taking on Edmonton, that would have been so sharp. The Kings, oh boy, B tier. And I put them in B because they can't get past Edmonton in the first round last 4 years. But it's Anze Kopitar's last year, so we'll see what happens there. But I love the rebrand. The Seattle Kraken will be. I'm actually going to put them in B tier. I think they're building that team a little bit better with all their draft picks. They're probably not there yet. They got that 1 year where they got fortunate where they beat the Colorado Avalanche in their second year in the league. But now they're starting to become like a regular team that you got to build through the draft, build through your farm system, and that's what Ron Francis is doing in Seattle. But I should mark them down and C. I might do that in a little bit. Tampa Bay. Boy, that's a weird, but it's dark logo. Why is that? Tampa Bay's not going anywhere. It's going to be an A tier. They always contend. They're like Colorado. They always contend. They just seem like what John Cooper running that ship. Tampa Bay's not going anywhere. Toronto will also. You know what? This is going to be. I got to put Toronto in A. We laugh at Toronto. They'll get there. But you had all this. And remember, Marner's not there. He went to Vegas, and I said something about Vegas the other day on a top five or whatever. They just find people. They always find the good players, and they just got Mitch Marner. So watch out. Toronto, can they get past that second round? It's one thing you get past the first round, and you had to get past Ottawa to get past the first round, and that wasn't even easy. Oilers, that's S tier. And we're taking consideration that that McDavid's going to come back and finish his career there. Dreisaitl's there. We're hoping a couple people where Hyman comes back, and you're holding your prayers, thoughts, and prayers that Skinner can be the guy in between the pipes. I'm still thinking people are saying that you probably should have started Skinner in Game 5, or Florida would not have, or the whole thing in Florida would not winning a back to back. Who knows? But speaking of Florida, I'll just make this real easy. Florida is the back-to-back champions. They're going to be an S tier. As long as they're playing bully hockey, they're not going anywhere. The Penguins, I will put them in B tier. They are in a rebuild, but they still have Crosby, Malkin, and Letang. They still got Brian Rust. They still got Richard Kell. They did not get rid of Tristan Jarry, so we got to find out how the season's going to go. But Jarry's got like three or four goalies in that farm system, including Andres Stolvas that could take his job like that. Nobody wanted Jari during the offseason, and they're trying to get rid of that contract. So Jari has to play his tuchus off. Nashville, C tier, they're on a mess. They're also in a rebuild. A player here and there, Nashville's going to be back in it. The Rangers, they're also going to be in a little bit of a rebuild. I'll put them in B tier, 100th anniversary stuff. But they lost a couple people, but you can't just put it on Shesterkin, and JT Miller is the new captain. So we'll find out what happens. Keep your eye on Detroit. A tier on Detroit. They're young. They've got some pieces. And I think Hockey Town's back. I mean, it's still going to take a little bit, but you got to have those teams that are going to contend with those S tier teams. Detroit's one of them. Keep your eye out. Buffalo, I have to put them in D, and I want to put them higher, but I can't. Buffalo, there's just no luck. Buffalo has the worst luck in the world. They got some nice young pieces, and they still find ways that they can't get it done. I don't know why. Ottawa. Ottawa, boy. Let me just put Ottawa in B tier. They made the playoffs last year, and they're this close, and I think they're getting a new building in 3 years, and it's going to be in town, and they need that. You don't want people driving 35, 40 minutes to go to a game. San Jose is still in a massive rebuild, D tier. Let's just keep it that way. But Celebrini going to try to be that person to take them to that next level. Let's go to what is next? Dallas. Let me just move some stuff up here because Dallas is going in S tier. They will always contend. Dallas has the pieces. They're almost there, and they ran into Edmonton. So keep your eyes on the Dallas Stars. They always have. I will go to the Utah Mammoth, and this is going to be real biased. I'm going to put them in A tier. They are this close away. They got their goaltender situation. They have got young talent and young goal scorers that can make some plays. Keep your eyes on the Utah Mammoth. And what is last is the Minnesota Wild. I'll put them in A tier. If they figure out the Kiprasov situation, their goaltender situation is fine. Fleury's gone. Kostafson now has the job. I think Minnesota, if you get past the first round, you'll be there. You're there. But now let's just check this real quick, and I'll shut the bar down. Let me just let's figure this out. Yeah. Right off the top, like, is there anything that needs to change? Like, do I want to move Boston down to C tier? Do I want to move like Calgary down here? Should I legitimately move the Rangers up? Should I move the Capitals up here? Do I want to do that? Like, the Capitals and Tampa and Toronto seem like they should be up in S tier. But to be quite honest with you right now, this seems like the NFL. This is about right with a little bit of nicks and crannies here. I'm even being honest. I'm even putting my Penguins in the middle of the pack. I think they'd be contending. I think they contend for a wild card or the 7th and 8th spot. It's so stupid. 7th and 8th wild card spot. Go back to the 1-8. Go back to the 1-8 or do the play-in. But I like this so far. This is what it is. And if I do this 15 minutes later, it'll probably be different. I'll stop. I'm going to shut the bar down right now. Do your own. Figure, who do you believe deep down is in the Super Bowl, Stanley Cup bubble. The season's about here, and it's hockey season. We get rid of September to get through training camp, preseason, do all the NFL and college football stuff, and then come mid-October, we're ready to go. I can't wait. And we're still waiting for other stuff to happen. The bar is closed. As I usually do, there's that thing. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more hockey content, sports content. This is not bad. I will take this tier list for now. But boy, After the first season, first couple months, you just never know what's going to happen. And I love the NHL, and we're going to find out who is going to be in the Stanley Cup bubble. The bar is closed. Thank you for hanging out. And until then, I will see you legends in the next one. It's time to drop that puck very shortly. I will see you all in the next one.